The Milwaukee Brewers are looking to get back above 500 tonight against former NL Central foe, the Houston Astros, in their second of 15 straight interleague games after starting the series off with a 5-1 victory last night. Chad Patrick is on the bump for the Crew, looking for his second win of the year. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 with pregame coverage beginning just after 6. Right here on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Up in Green Bay, Rob Demovsky just published an article detailing how the Packers' offense could be a bit more dynamic with the drafting of Matthew Golden and Savion Williams at wide receiver. Check that out and all things green and gold over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Jim, Matt, and Molly. Jim and Molly coming your way next. Stay tuned.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It just feels like the Derby should be on a Sunday.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's a Kentucky Derby. It's a Kentucky Derby hot brown, right? That's what you'd get after going to church, right?
Kentucky hot brown. It was similar to this sandwich that's popular down there called a Kentucky hot brown, which is turkey covered with basically all that stuff.
Appetizing.
I'm Googling it right now as we speak.
What's a Kentucky Derby hot brown then?
I feel like
case?
that's what the horses do.
Exactly.
No, I would say
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
it is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light. Good job, Brian.
I have the power. I am Jim Rutledge. Matt Hamilton in Minnesota for the next 2 days, and that means it's me and Molly Brown along with Primetime Wollersheim. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You also can listen on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And we're ready to go today, Molly Brown. And I wanted to start with, I think it was Chris Canty who had some strong words about Caleb Williams being like a celebrity quarterback. And it was like a month or two ago. I think it was after it wasn't Forbes. It was the Esquire magazine, I believe, feature on Caleb Williams, where Caleb Williams, I think it was some sort of fashion type magazine.
Yep.
And Caleb Williams is talking about fashion, talking about being out and about in the world, and his significant other, his girlfriend, I believe, is, I forget where she's from. She's from a different country, and they met when they were in high school together, reconnected over college, and he was with her in a different country, kind of just hanging out. And he's just got interested or not football related. But, for me as a fan, he seems all about football when it's time to be all about football. And as you look at Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how or when exactly he went off the rails, but he became more public as far as having outside of football interest. He became more public with it later in his career. He might have had them before, but we didn't know about them. You see plenty of athletes. The golf is a big thing for them. And I'm fine, especially outside of football season. I've never seen Caleb go to a big event during football season that would pull him away from the actual paying attention to football.
Right.
We talked about that a little bit yesterday's show with the LeBron James side of things, of LeBron James Met Gala, that he's on the board for the Met Gala. Had he gone, had he not gone? We were debating back and forth. The timing of it falls in line with often when he's playing basketball. And he rightfully would take a lot of crap if he went to the Met Gala in the middle of the playoffs. I believe Jason Kelsey with the Taylor Swift, like the getting to concerts with her, like it's very thin. Between the Super Bowl, there was things that he missed that she had. I don't know if it's a birthday. I remember there was sort of like a big controversy the first time around that he missed her birthday party or something like that.
Yep,
but
I remember.
The Chiefs were like in the playoffs. So it's one of those things where, one, it'd be bad form by him to go. And then two, like, even if he did go, how much could he stay and all that side of stuff. And then you had Tony Romo, I believe, when he was playing, got in trouble for, I don't know if it was a bye week, but he was like in Cancun with like Jessica Simpson or something like that.
Those were the days.
Right?
Pop culture.
But so pop culture is kind of where I wanted to start here because we had obviously the Met Gala yesterday, and Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts were at the Met Gala along with other athletes, including Jordan Love, who most of the internet, I don't know if Matt, we can kind of crowdsource this as well, 844-770-3776 on the Call Us Talking text line. List is more. Once we get the photo up of Jordan Love, we'll share it, and we'll give you dazzling details. But if you want to get ESPN Madison's YouTube loaded up, you'll be able to see the photo of Jordan Love if you haven't seen it. But the nickname for Jordan Love with his outfit that Matt sent was Pacula. But you open up Twitter, and it is the nickname given to everyone. Everyone is given Jordan Love that nickname. So first I want to ask the three of you, do you think Matt Hamilton stole or took that from the internet, or do you think he came up with that on his own?
That for sure came from the internet. Matt is not that creative, right?
Well, it's not that creative of a nickname.
Well, no, it's not that creative, but like the fact that we were talking about, what is it, Captain Pack Sparrow yesterday,
Yes.
and then going to Pacula, like maybe he came up with it because of that and that conversation, but I don't think he was that. I bet he was just scrolling, saw the photo of Jordan Love, and, you know, may or may not have taken what somebody else already said. What do you guys think?
I think he lifted it from the internet.
Don't want to say plagiarized, but plagiarized.
Yeah.
Well, that's a you thing, Molly. Come on.
Well, you're
Facts.
right. But Matt, to his defense, he did not present it as his. He just said it.
True.
He did not say if it was sourced or not sourced.
That is true.
I will say it's probably one of those two where it's just such low-hanging fruit that a lot of people would probably think of that one at the same time.
Yes.
That's the collective Packers unconscious.
Yes.
Really, that Matt is a part of. The green and gold blind unconscious.
Right. So we're going to get to the picture here in a minute. Tyler and Sun Prairie, man, chill out. Woohoo! Let's start the show talking about Jim's ego being hurt. Bears still suck. Oh, poor Caleb. His feelings must be hurt. Aw. Tyler,
Wait, about what?
I was just setting this whole thing up about Jordan Love.
Events.
Like, Tyler can't let any build-up happen here. I was trying to set up why I was getting to Jordan. What I was setting up was Caleb Williams, celebrity QB. I think Aaron Rodgers has become a celebrity QB. Jalen Hurts is a celebrity QB. Joe Burrow is a celebrity QB. I think a lot of QBs nowadays are celebrity QBs.
So I will say I was able to dig up the audio that you referenced from Chris Canty talking about Caleb Williams being this celebrity QB. We could listen to it quickly.
Well,
if
let's
like
get to it in a
help set
second.
it
I
up.
do want to. So again, this was about Jordan Love.
Yes.
And I don't think he is. It's just some people get really triggered. Good Lord. I was just trying to set up why we were getting to Jordan Love because lots of these QBs, I think, are celebrity QBs, and I don't think anything wrong with it.
It's because Jim hates LeBron James, guys. Don't you know? That's why we're talking about the Met Gala.
So the Met Gala.
Come on, don't get it twisted.
And Jordan Love looked like a vampire.
Please help me with this outfit here. So he is wearing, what's the material on the black pants? What do we think that? Is that leather?
Let me
Is
zoom
that
in.
satin? I can't tell.
I think it's satin.
Okay, so he's wearing satin black pants.
Yes.
What is the material on his shirt? I'd say it's, and I don't mean this in a mean way. I just think of like the Dave Chappelle skit where he's like blouses. Like it
Literally.
It looks like he's wearing a blouse, and I again, it's fine because this is all part of an outfit at Met Gala where you're supposed to go
a little
wild.
outrageous.
So it looks like he's wearing a red and black blouse with chains on it. It looks a little bit like he's coming from the movie, the music video Thriller. But he also has, there's designs on the red blouse shirt. There is a silver necklace with a large silver or platinum medallion with a red gem in the middle.
Just it's just all wrong.
And then he has where the he's wearing
a cape.
Count Pacula part comes to. It's not just a cape. It has the raised Dracula type collar with the tied around bit around the neck.
Yeah, he's dressed up as Dracula.
And then he has glasses with a red tint.
It's kind of Blade style glasses a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. And then he has makeup on his face, but like in a way of like he's trying to like
blood on his
or
neck
something like that. So
by his
that is the look,
mouth.
which is trying to provide the dazzling details. I'm assuming he's there with his wife,
fiance.
fiance. I thought no, they weren't.
Which,
married.
Veronica
by the way,
Stone.
her abs look incredible.
Well,
like
she
looks great. Professional volleyball player.
I knew she was a great volleyball player. I don't know if she was professional or not. So like that makes a lot of sense. And no shade on the outfit. Like you're going to the Met Gala. I'll tell you what, Jordan Love dressed better than Saquon Barkley.
I did not see Saquon
He just showed up in a suit. Like be more lame.
Come on,
like,
he was a tuxedo. It was a good
tuxedo,
looking
but still like
tuxedo.
a lame look to go to. Like Saquon Barkley continues his lame streak, and
It was understated, I would say.
he's getting killed for it because you don't go to the Met Gala in a tux.
So here's what
He
the
didn't. He stuck out for dressing so normally. I would agree.
so the
Anywhere
Met-
else you'd be fine, but you go to this to dress more like Jordan Love than
to
you
be
do.
outrageous. Yes. What did they call it? Avant-garde. So
we were looking at it earlier. I have to
yes.
find the word again.
The Met Gala does have a theme every single year. This year it was Superfine, tailoring black style, a celebration of black dandyism and the influence of black style in fashion
There you
history.
go.
So
Dandyism.
yes.
Do you know what dandyism means, Jim? Molly and I did not either.
I don't want to take a guess.
I have the
'Cause-
definition.
because-
Dandyism is a style or philosophy emphasizing refined elegance, often through meticulously chosen attire and a focus on impeccable grooming and manners.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley looks stupid. And
Oh.
I know that sounds dumb because it's like if this was any other red carpet, it would be totally fine. But the fact that, like you were saying, this is an event where you're going to go over the top and be crazy and you want people to talk about your outfit, lame. Even Joe Burrow looks pretty good too, but he's kind of lame too.
Yeah, it was pretty
Especially
basic.
for being like, what do they call him? What do they call him? Icy Joe?
Joe Burr.
Joe Burrow.
But I guess what I was trying to get at here is that, like, good for Jordan Love. Now he is.
You think so?
I think he's opening himself up now. Like, he has delivered bland personality. But if Jordan Love, like, I would give more respect to Jordan Love than, let's say, Saquon Barkley at this event. Like, Jordan Love looks like he stepped completely out of his comfort zone and has, because we've never seen, like, Jordan Love most of the time is like, I feel like he wears like fine leisure wear. Like, I feel like most of the stuff has been like Coach sweatpants or t-shirts, and it's a common look for people his age of like athletic leisure wear that's Dolce & Gabbana or Coach or whatever the fancy brands are. Like
A
that
$500
just-
T-shirt, yeah.
Right, but like that seems his look. So like
Right.
for him on May 5th, to go all out at the Met Gala, like good on him. He has now given himself a bullseye for the first time, and it's a minor bullseye. Packer fans will be mad if he starts playing bad, and opposing fan bases will make fun of him for it. Neither one of those things are important. So I liked it. I like Jordan Love stepping out of his normal style zone.
Okay, guys, did we do our research on this? Because Grable424 on our YouTube stream says, I can't get over how dumb this is. This is a Photoshop photo of Jordan and his fiance from 3 years ago during Halloween. Why is this being reported on? Is this real?
I don't know.
That looks like the Met Gala behind them to me. There's
I mean,
a lot
that's
of
what Photoshop
photographers.
is.
Well,
Is putting their
so they
pictures
could have
somewhere
cut them out and put
Because
a,
it does look like a Halloween
that
photo.
very
you
well-
guys.
that
It could
very
be.
well
Maybe we
could
got
be the
got. But I
case.
do want to chime in on this. Big Packer fan here. I have to be honest. Seeing Jordan enjoying big money while playing mid rubs him the wrong way. Don't flex on anything or anyone until you finish in the top 3 in MVP voting.
But do we know if he's flexing or was this just Halloween flexing?
But that's still just a different take. I mean, that's a way to take it, though. Like the Hollywood QB, getting back to the conversation on that, is that would you have a problem? Like, same question holds here, that if this is Jordan Love for real, like, what does it matter? Like, do you have a problem with him going all out if he did?
I'm doing some research, you guys, and I think this is a Halloween costume.
yeah,
So we might have got.
The only place I'm also seeing this is on Reddit currently.
Exactly.
I'm not seeing it anywhere else.
But I can appreciate
But
the
that's
fact.
still, but that's still a Halloween costume that he wore.
What?
On Halloween, yes.
But still, like, that's still a heck of an outfit.
I mean,
So we
but
got
then
on the placement of it, but he still wore the outfit.
Yeah, but it's a little different than the celebrity aspect because if he's just going to a Halloween party, if this is just with friends, I mean that's a little
Obviously,
different.
I'm changing the topic here. I'm just saying he still was wearing the outfit. I was confirming that.
Yes,
the outfit is correct.
That is in fact Jordan Love at
It's
one
fake.
point dressed as a vampire.
So he was not. So he was not big time enough to get invited to the Met Gala.
Apparently not.
So that's the story.
Yes.
Are you upset that your quarterback is not prestigious enough to get invited to the Met Gala?
Did Caleb get invited?
no, because
No, Caleb was in Miami with a bunch of different people.
doesn't mean that he
Oh.
did or didn't get invited. No, because I came in, I think right away, and I was like, I'm shocked that he was invited.
Yeah.
Because to me, it feels like you have to be on the LeBron James, the Jalen Hurts. And I think I even said, I feel like it was an event that, or always has been an event where it's mega celebrities. Like I think of the Kardashians. That's where they always go. Like even some of them don't get invited every single year. So it's like crazy to me if Jordan Love did.
So I still want to ask this question. We'll just change it a little bit here. I want to ask a Siding Unlimited poll question, 844-770-3776. It's the Carbos Talking Test Line. List is more. Given the choice, would you rather go to the Met Gala or the Kentucky Derby? We'll ask that as Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I thought you were going to say a Halloween party.
No, Met Gala or the Kentucky Derby.
With
Well, we're not
Jordan Love?
since Jordan Love was not at the gala. We're not going to ask it like
Can
that.
we say it with fake Jordan Love?
Why don't we just say it with Jordan Love and then Derby with?
Because he wasn't actually at the Met Gala.
Well,
It makes us look dumber.
You can add the context.
We're already there.
I don't know. We don't need to broadcast it on Twitter at this point.
Well, we can add the context of it.
What's the context?
Because of the fake photo.
No, we can say asterisk. He wasn't there. Right?
Asterisk, we got.
Yeah.
Hashtag, we got.
Brett in the Grove chimes in with Derby. We don't have to do any, we can just make the note.
Yeah,
hypothetically.
I think it makes more sense just ask Kentucky Derby or Met Gala at this point.
Well, that's how I said it, and you asked you brought back Jordan
I
Love.
know. I was just joking.
I got you. All right. Well, we're going to be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse next Tuesday, and we can be out there. We're going to be out there from 4 until about 5:30. We'll be on the air 4 to 5, and then we're going to hang out a little bit, and you can do a watch along with us at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, and you can come out to enjoy the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour and hang out with Jim, Matt, and Molly. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It's like dogs. Like you get like the snickerdoodle or all these. Like you're trying to build this
Snickerdoodle?
Is that a real dog?
No, it's like a golden doodle.
Golden
It's a cookie.
doodle. Golden doodle.
Like a
Sorry.
snickerdoodle. Half poodle, half Snickers bar.
I'm sure. Golden doodle. I don't know. This breeding dogs thing is dumb.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin recently upgraded their document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Adam Wallace, VFW State Adjutant.
Our representative ensured that we had what was right for us, for our needs, and for our budget, and I thought it was a very good interaction.
That's a good thing, to have James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner?
Absolutely. We want people that are going to support what we want to do in supporting veterans, and if that means spending less on our imaging and technology costs, that's more that we can spend on our programs.
And that's a really good thing. Adam, any advice to other businesses out there?
I would say to go with James Imaging.
Because
they are a partner and they give great customer service and the prices are right.
Great document imaging technology, great service, great value. From James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like the Rail House, Nitty Gritty, Main Depot, and Connie's Home Plate.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my
You remember
baby.
the moments from that magical March in 2015. Frank Kaminsky leading the charge for Bo Ryan and Wisconsin in a run to the championship. Relive it all with Made 'em Believe. On June 26th, join Frank, Sam Decker, Coach Bo Ryan for an intimate night at the Orpheum Theater in Madison to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Tickets are now on sale at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com. And I'll even make it easier for you. You download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app, and it pops right up. All you got to do is click it, and then you can buy your tickets right there. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. No Matt continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. You can get into the show on the Carl's Talk text line 844-770-3776. And we do have a Siding Limited poll question. Would you rather go to the Kentucky Derby or the Met Gala? That one is at Jim, Matt, and Molly. The Packers have rookie minicamp camp, and they had that last weekend there, Friday and Saturday. And Matthew Golden continued his sort of what I think is early auditioning to be a Packer fan favorite. And then I think Warren Brinson, someone who played with Georgia, has an opportunity to maybe grab the reins as a fan favorite. I would say Sorrell as well would have an opportunity from Texas to grab the fan favorite mantle. But there are some Packer players with a little bit of attitude, a little bit of swagger, if you will, and I think it's good for the Packers. I think it's good, and I hope they continue LaFleur and everyone else let these players show their personality. So I want to start here with Matthew Golden, and he obviously, when he was drafted, grabbed the mic, got a little call and response with the team, with the fans in Green Bay, and we have that. Let's hear that right now.
It's time, baby. Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Green Bay on 3. Hey, let me get a Green Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3.
God, so awkward. But literally, people do anything. Like, if you are holding a camera in front of somebody and you say cheese on 3, like, you can get somebody to say whatever you want. It is crazy. So the fact that, like, I mean, if I was in the crowd, I would have said Green Bay. Like, I would have been so excited about it, too, even though it's like, you're going to learn it's Go Pack Go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Green Bay to me.
And honestly, that is better. The Go Pack Go is kind of lame anyway. So, like, good for him on doing it, but I thought him just grabbing it. I didn't feel it. Like, me, not as a Packer fan, I thought Green Bay on 3 or Go Green Bay on 3, whatever it was like, natural. Like, when I heard it, I'm like, oh.
Isn't that just like how you break down the huddle, though? That's not like a fan chant.
Yeah,
like,
but
Green
like,
Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3. Green Bay. Like.
Right, but I just from, like, I don't know.
Packers!
Like, you guys would probably know bear down, but, like, I don't know if I would have the reaction if a Bears player was drafted and says, all right, Bears on 3. You know, like, I don't think in that moment when he's just picked and knows nothing about my team,
No,
most likely,
for sure.
I didn't even flinch. But I'm not a Packers fan. But I didn't flinch when he didn't say.
No,
Go
I
Pack,
just
go.
thought it was. I just kind of like giggled because I'm like,
Yes.
whoever says like Green Bay on 3, 1, 2, 3, Green Bay. Like you said, it does sound like you're breaking a huddle in a game.
It just
like,
at this point, he's just unaware of like most Packers traditions and most
Totally.
Packers like the cheesehead culture. I mean, he's a guy from Houston, right? He's from
Right,
Texas.
yeah,
he probably
yeah.
doesn't have really any background on the Packers other than
yes, like
watching
I
Aaron
don't
Rodgers.
expect other people to really understand or know. It's just kind of like
It's
as
funny.
a Packers fan, it's a hee like it's a giggle. It's a
So
thing.
yeah, regardless though, I thought Golden started to endear himself, and then
sure.
at the rookie minicamp last Friday and Saturday, he talked a little about while he has number 22, he didn't ask Malik Willis for number 2, despite having a special connection to him. But he just said, "Hey, that's Malik's number." But let's hear Matthew Golden talking about the meaning behind his jersey, number 22.
My grandma, her favorite number was 2 growing up. And, she told me she wanted me to represent that number. And so I knew the last receiver that was drafted was 2002. So I feel like it kind of made sense to me.
Did you think you were 81 there for a second on
Yeah,
draft night?
yeah, I did.
How'd that change?
I talked to the guy that gave me the numbers, and I asked him if I could get 22. He said it was up for grabs, so I took it.
What do you think about that? I mean, I think, a number's a number, but he did want to have a special connection, and he was able to get to 22 and not have to bother Malik for the number. So, again, it's just another endearing part. And are we betting money, or what do we think's going to happen at Lambeau? Do they do a good job of this? Because for me, this is an opportunity where, and Molly, I'm going to rely on you to do the singing here, that if Golden makes a big play,
I know where we're going with this.
then you have to hear this.
I don't know about but I'm feeling 22. Ooh,
Like
ooh.
anytime he makes
amazing.
a play at
Let's
Lambeau
go.
Field, right? Like you have to do that.
If he played for the Chiefs, it would be perfect.
But I mean,
I think it
Taylor
still
Swift's
works.
still like an international star to the point that we can't play her music coming back from break because we're not going to be able. We're going to stop being streamed
We'll
on
get taken
YouTube.
down.
You can see us on YouTube. You can listen to the show on the
It's a
ESPN
whole
Wisconsin
thing,
app.
guys.
But that's her level of fame. She's the most famous singer and probably one of the most famous human beings in the face of the earth. So
easily.
And he's wearing number 22. When I hear the song, when I hear the word 22, it's honestly a few songs like this. When I hear Minnesota Viking, I always think of
New
Lizzo.
man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Like anytime in my head I hear
True.
Minnesota Vikings.
We'll also
And
get
so-
pulled down off YouTube if you play her music too.
So, but then to Taylor Swift, like the 22. I don't know. I don't think the Bears did this at Bears games, but I know they did it during practice. They got DJ Moore, at least in year 1. They did the Lil Wayne song, "Go DJ." That's my DJ, and they would play it they clipped it down like they'd have a DJ at practice, and so anytime he made a big play at practice, they would fire up the Lil Wayne song go, and the hook of it like "Go DJ." That's my DJ.
Didn't they do that for Devin Hester too? Didn't he always play Soulja Boy?
Yes, but that one
Waiting
they
for
played
kickoff
that at,
returns?
they played that at the stadium, and yes, because that went back to Miami.
Yes.
because that was Miami's basically jump around,
Yeah.
and so
Oh, really?
they were doing Soulja Boy. I don't know if it was like at the transition from third to fourth quarter like it is for the Badgers for jump around, but they would play it once a game. And Devin, if you watch videos from him at Miami, I was down there covering the Hurricanes when Devin was down there when "Crank That" was the popular song, and I remember Devin Hester doing the Soulja Boy, and then that being around for a while afterwards too for the Miami Hurricanes. And yes, they brought that to because you see them do the "you." That's why it's big down there because they do that "Crank That You," and so everyone. Because that's the "you" is what the Hurricanes do.
Right.
And so that was.
Yeah. That's such a cool one. Whenever he would do the Soulja Boy dance waiting for a kickoff return.
Like, I'll
it's
be
a lot of
honest,
swag.
I don't like the Miami Hurricanes. They have the ability to, at times to be peak swag. Like,
They do.
Peak swag.
But
They do.
their
That's right.
uniforms, the history. You got Michael Irvin that played there. That's just one of those teams where you're like, man, when they're on, and it's like that's awesome. Like you just have to tip your cat. Now again, when you go to Paul Christ and making fun of the turnover chain, that's the reverse of it of opening yourself up to being ripped. When he says turnover chain my ass and is caught that's amazing. That was great as a Badger fan. So I love both sides of it. But man, when Miami and at that point when we took that turnover chain, that they were not Miami. They haven't really been the U. They were a little bit last year, but they fell off at the end, but they had Cam Ward, obviously number 1 overall pick. But So
I will say that there's one other one I want to get to from Packers rookies.
Yes.
One that stuck out to me. Warren Brinson, their 6th-round pick.
Yep.
Jason Wilde is going to be joining us later in the show. He had a really cool feature on them at channel3tv.com.
Okay.
But also, as a college football fan, I know Warren Brinson because he had a pretty viral moment after Georgia won its 2nd national championship in 2022.
Yep.
And I'll actually play the video and the audio of what he said. Interviewing some of CBS analysts on the field. Apparently, he wants to work for ESPN one day. That's Warren Brinson's whole dream.
Yeah.
So this is a little sampling of what his personality is like as well.
Perfect.
Benson here live at the National Championship with CBS Sports here. I'm here with Brady Quinn,
Danny Cannell.
Brady. The Dogs just went back-to-back. How do y'all feel about this historic season? With the Dogs, people assume the Dogs are going 6-5, living in the shadow of last year. How do you feel about the Dogs and their back-to-back victory?
I think you guys are the dynasty right now. You're the king of college football. How do you feel?
I feel like this is the glory of the Dog days. The good times are forming, and the dynasty is just now beginning. Coach Smart is a great coach, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. How do you feel about the Dogs?
I think you guys took over Bama. I think you guys are the new dynasty, the kings of college football.
You heard it here from CBS Sports. Georgia football, the kings of college football.
Dog.
Yeah, he's fun. And we're going to get to Gabe Neitzel here. We're going to take a break and get to him in a minute. I do want to throw out our other Siding Limited poll question. We'll throw this one at ESPN Madison. Which Packers rookie do you think will become a fan favorite? 844-770-3776. That's Carlos Talking text line. List is more. Our options are going to be Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, Warren Brinson, defensive tackle from Georgia, and then I do want to throw Barron Sorella in there as well. I think his story was cool, and the fact that, and Willie had this in his story, and it was a couple different places, the fact that every Texas player who was leaving, who was asked the question, what player would you want to bring with you to the NFL, every player's answer was Barron Sorrell.
That is cool. I also, I believe I heard this on Wilde and Tausch this morning. I'm going to have to confirm with Jason when he comes on. But I think he said that Sorrell's dad is in their YouTube chat watching Wilde and Tausch.
I think what it was the Friday or maybe the Monday morning after he got drafted on Saturday, Barron Sorrell, his dad, Barry Sorrell, was in the Wilde and Tausch YouTube channel.
That's amazing.
Chatting them up, talking about his son. I'm pretty sure that's the timeline.
I love that. We're going to have to ask him.
Love that. Yeah, we're going to talk to Gabe Neitzel. He's got his MACC Fun golf outing coming up. So we're going to talk to Gabe Neitzel coming up next. Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're such a tryhard.
I don't know. This is pretty catchy.
It's not.
No, you're literally forcing yourself to like polka right now.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
forcing myself to like polka. I can't force myself to like anything. And I would drink German beers out of a boot, and
You would drink it till you couldn't hear the polka music anymore.
I guess, yeah. Until I started dancing.
Sounds like a horrible time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
At the Home Depot, we know Mother's Day is a big deal. So what are you working on for Mom this year? With a little help from the Home Depot, you can help create a space just for her. We have a wide variety of patio sets and outdoor furniture that will make the perfect gift for Mom. Just add a few hanging baskets for a pop of color and texture for the perfect finishing touch. Shop outdoor furniture, flowers, gifts, and more for Mother's Day. In-store and online at the Home Depot.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Carbon World Health has 2 locations, one in Sun Prairie, one in Madison. I hit up both locations, and you can too. The Madison location has the gym, which I like to hit a few times a week. And then both locations have the med spa. Madison location has cryotherapy and red light therapy, but you can ask them about hormone replacement treatment. And you also can ask them about GLP-1s like semaglutide, see how they can help you reach your weight loss gains. And again, hormones, it's more than just the traditional ways you think about it. Testosterone can help you build muscle, can help you maintain a healthy lifestyle, can help you maintain mental and physical health. So talk to the good folks over at Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass, and we are bringing on Gabe Neitzel, and we're going to talk with him about the MACC Fund, and we're going to let him tell us about it a little bit. We did have Stephen Watson, former ESPN Madison teammate and intern, on last week to talk a little Milwaukee Bucks, and then we got a chance to let him tell everyone about the great things in the MACC Fund. And we do that here with Gabe now as well. But Gabe, there was so much controversy with you and shaving your facial hair, and everyone here was shocked. And I'm like, this is ESPN Madison Gabe Neitzel. This is the Gabe Neitzel that I know. And there are some photos up that Ryan is posting on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. But like, how weird is it for you, and how long did you have the beard? Because again, for me, like when you left here is when you grew the beard, so I was not very shocked to see you like this, as we have pictures.
Yeah, and it was still like a couple years. It was a couple years after, like, I moved to Milwaukee that I started growing the beard. But I had a beard for a decade. Like I had a beard since 2015. So shaving it off was a shock. I had met my wife. So my wife and I were friends before we started dating, got married. So she knew me without a beard, but we had never dated with me without a beard. So she's not a fan of the facial hair coming off. But yeah, I mean, the number of people that have come up to me that have said, "Hey, I barely recognize you." Yeah, because the number of people, I'm trying to think, in the Milwaukee office, I mean, it might be Homer. Homer and Greg Scalzo might be the only two people in the Milwaukee office that actually have recognized me without facial. Maybe Lance Davis, because Lance has been around forever as well.
Yes.
So it's been a shock for everybody.
We did just post a photo of our Madison Rec League championship with Jesse Temple, Patrick Herb, Gabe Neitzel, former ESPN Madison Badger reporter Tom Lee, and Ben
What a crew that is. What a ragtag crew that is.
It really is. And honestly, I forget the other guy's name. I don't mean to call him the other guy, but everyone else has some sort
What,
of.
you talking about Ray? You got Ray there. You got Tommy.
Well, I said
yeah,
Tom.
we got
Ray was the one because everyone else has a tie to like probably tag him on social media. People might know who they are, including Ben. It's just Ray was the only one I couldn't remember Ray's name. So yeah.
I got to remember all the teammates' names. When you win championships, Jim, those are supposed to be special.
Yes.
Those rec league championships are supposed to be held sacred. And now you're just forgetting teammates' names. This is unbelievable.
That's on me. That's 45, man. That's just what happens.
You know what's funny, though, is that you actually kind of look younger now than you did in those photos.
Yeah, my wife gets upset that she says I look better now than when we – because I, too, was clean-shaven or with a goatee, and I never grew the Gabe Neitzel thick beard, but I have – because my wife doesn't like the beard that thick, but I've had a beard, some sort of facial hair beard for – probably similar amount of time, but it's not as weird if I shave it off because I've done it for Movember and other things because I didn't have the time in that Neitzel did with how thick that beard was.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while, but you know what? It's going to grow back. It was all for a good cause. And honestly, I had gotten off so easy jumping on, because this happened for those who don't know, because of KBN. I was on raising money for the MACC fund. And, you know, Ben decided to get a buzz cut. Same thing with Brad, and so everybody's getting somebody's happening. But in the past, like Josh DiMaggio has gotten 2 tattoos for the MACC fund for me fundraising. Like Scal's got his hair cut down. Ben Brust has been slapped 3 or 4 times, somewhere in that nature. You know, so I feel like I've been getting off easy. Finally, somebody said, "Hey, what if Gabe shaves his beard?" And I mean, after all these things that teammates have done for me, shaving the beard was the easiest decision ever.
And we're going to have Ryan try to pull up the picture of Ben, which, again, my hair is short, so I won't be surprised. But when Ben shaved his head and he was a little bit surprised about his hairline, again, as someone of 45, it's one of those things where, shouldn't have been surprised there, Ben. But what do you think the reception at the ESPN Milwaukee studios have been? Is it what's more jarring to people, Brust's new hairline or your lack of facial hair?
I think my lack of facial hair. Although, again, with Strofe and Ben and Brad all walking around the office with buzz cuts, I think that's equally as jarring. But, I don't know, hair, because they still have some hair, right? Yeah. I shaved all of it off. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why, people don't even recognize me. Who was telling me? I can't remember. Somebody even told me that my eyes looked different without a beard. So it's... I can't remember what teammate told me that the other day. So it's been interesting a couple of days around the office for sure.
I think I heard somebody the other day say that you saying that you look like Eric Name, and I just can't get that out of my head now. It's weird, very weird.
So that was Tommy Olson. Tommy Olson, former market manager there in Madison. Yes, he said that he just was seeing Eric Name the first time I appeared on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy without the facial hair.
Which I think
which I'll take. Eric's my guy.
Especially in this photo, where Gabe's got the shorter hair, the basketball photo that, again, is up at the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Tom Lee did chime in that Ray is a successful business owner. So, everyone has moved on. He probably is doing the best out of all of us. Then. So the rest of us are just doing sports. But, Gabe, we're having you on. Obviously, you've done this multiple times. The MACC Fund, the golf, what you guys are doing, you and Stephen Watson, Greg MACC. Tell everyone about it, how they can get involved, and what it means to you to be able to raise money for this.
Yeah, so this is my 7th time. I've done this every year since 2015, since 2019. I've participated in an event called The Ringer for the MACC Fund. For those unfamiliar, the MACC Fund, they raise money for pediatric cancers, and all of their money goes towards pediatric cancer research. So that's what they're focused on. And this event, we've got 18 to 20 of us who raise money to play 100 holes. Some people like Chewy said he would donate $20 per birdie. So the golf actually does matter. Going to be trying to make as many birdies as possible when we go out to the bog on Thursday. And other people donate out of the goodness of their heart. Some people donate because they want to participate in our pizza for a year through Palermo's. If you donate $25, and I'll get to how you can donate here in a little bit. Minimum donation of $25 gets you into the drawing for pizza for a year, courtesy of our friends from Palermo's. That comes with a pizza oven. All of this, we've got like about $1,000 left of a match. So if you donate $25, that becomes $50, courtesy of my buddy over at Paintings for Pediatrics, another pediatric cancer foundation. But the MACC Fund wants to focus all their time, all their resources, all their energy into pediatric cancers because it's such something that doesn't get funded nearly as much as you think it does. So I've been honored to be a part of this crew that's raised over $1 million, in this event. Over the last handful of years. So if you want to donate, just text GOLF, GOLF, to 800-990-3776. A link will be sent directly to your phone. And you can just donate right off that way. Unfortunately, I've got nothing left to give. Like the facial hair's gone. Yep. Like I've ran a half marathon a couple years ago for this. So there's nothing left other than, you can win pizza for a year, which is great stuff from our friends at Palermo's.
Well, I just activated my account there, and I'll donate some money. I don't want to be on the phone while we're chatting here, but I did want to get it set up there. Gabe, I saw part of the social media clip here, so I'm a little guilty of it. But you have this take on the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis that, and I saw Bill Simmons kind of threw this out there, and it was some players from the Rockets who were basically the best players not named Amen Thompson. And correct me if I'm wrong, your general take was like, hey, if you are going to move Giannis, you better get premium and blue chip. And I'm 100% with you on it, especially if you're going to move him now because he's got peak value. He's got 2 years of his contract left. He's still, even at the end of this contract, he'd be in his prime. I'm assuming he's going to opt out of his player option. So, like, the teams acquiring Giannis are acquiring a guy in his prime with some contract flexibility and control. So I agree 100%. If Giannis is moved, the Bucks better get every – and in this case, player possible, because draft picks don't help them much because they don't control their own draft picks. They help some, but you do need to win too.
Yeah, I mean, the only way picks are going to be helpful is if it's like an Oklahoma City Thunder situation, who I think they control like half of the draft picks for the next 10 years. That's how many draft picks they have over there at OKC. Because like, if you're trading Giannis, let's say, to the Rockets, and you get the Rockets picks back, those things are worthless. Like the Rockets are going to continue to be good. They're going to be picking in the back part of the 20s, and it's better than not having a first round pick the way the Bucks are basically going to have until 2031, but it doesn't help you. So it's whatever deal happens, if it happens, because I'm still convinced, I think Giannis ends up staying in Milwaukee because the teams that are going to have to pony up, like by the time they give up the picks and they give up the players, it's going to be a very similar situation to wherever he goes, unless somebody gets, than it is in Milwaukee, unless somebody gets incredibly creative. But my point of when I was ranting yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I disturbed some people trying to work at Aaron Hills when I was ranting and yelling about that, what was like serious offers only, please. Like, just can we, if this is actually going to happen, like this is a generational talent. This is a guy who's a top 20 talent all-time in NBA history, who, as you mentioned, Jim, is in his prime. He's going to finish third in MVP voting this year. Like, this is one of the premium players in the NBA. Like, this isn't here's our 4 first-round picks and Paul George. Will you take them from the Sixers? No, That's not happening. Mikal Bridges just went for 5 firsts. Like, This is a premium player, serious offers only. Otherwise, I'm going to make fun of you.
But, I mean, Gabe, I hope you're right in that. Well, I guess I don't know how to feel, right? Like, for Giannis' sake, I want him to go somewhere and win. I want to see him be successful in the league. But for my own selfishness, I want him to stay and be a Milwaukee Buck to the end of his career. But what is it that's actually going to keep him here? Because I know you said, anything that any other team that he may possibly go to is just going to end up being in the same spot because they're going to get rid of everything in order to get Giannis. But, like, what's going to keep him here? What's going to keep him happy? Like, I don't think that we can all just rely on, he loves the state of Wisconsin. Nobody's going to love him the way that we do.
Yeah, I think you kind of pitch him on the team being younger, bringing back Kevin Porter Jr., who really kind of came into his own, Gary Trent Jr., try to bring back some of the young guys that still have, either player options or are going to be free agents this year, and try to build a really young team around him. And look, there's this next year, like, you're just going to have to say, Giannis, you see those numbers that Jokic is putting out in Denver because the ball's in his hands constantly. With Damian Lillard out, there's not much you can do. A 30-year salary cap is wrapped up in a guy who's got an Achilles injury, who's going to be out for all of 25 and 26. So you just say, Giannis, we're probably only going to win like 45, 46, 47 games, but the ball's going to constantly be in your hands, and you are going to put up outlandish numbers. Like, you want to average 35, 12, and 8? Yeah, go for it. Like, this is you might win your third MVP, And then once we get Damian Lillard back, we can start formulating a better plan to continue to compete in the future. I mean, you just have to be honest and level with him, but you have to come up with a good enough plan where you at least can be competitive and avoid the play-in and things like that, which with Giannis you should still be able to do because the Eastern Conference is not as good as the West. So I think you come up with a short-term plan, but also then, hey, once Dame comes back and we have that asset available to us, because let's be honest, Dame's going to opt into his player option because who's going to be giving $58 million to a guy coming off an Achilles injury? So he's going to opt in, and either you roll with Dame or it becomes an asset because it's an expiring contract.
So that is the way out of it, Molly. Talking with Gabe Neitzel. And again, you can text golf to 800-990-3776 to help Gabe raise money with the Ringer event with the MACC Fund. Gabe, I guess two parts here. I have one, I'll say, I want Giannis back, but I also think he owes us nothing, and I will hold not one iota, one bit of ill will. In fact, they should rename or build a second statue for him in front of Pfizer Forum because the amount of pain, like, I love the scenario you sell, but, like, next year's team, this roster was built to be stars and scrubs, and not everyone's scrubs, but when you're talking about Porter Jr. and Trent and Kuzma as starters and key contributors on a team, that's a rough team. Obviously, Giannis can lift that team to a 6 seed probably, but like Giannis is taking a massive leap of faith that John Horst, who built this roster that's a complete disaster at the moment, and Dame's injury is a major part of it, can then dig them out of it very quickly. So I guess, one, would you hold any ill will, or what are your thoughts if Giannis decides to leave? That's the first question I'll ask, babe.
Yeah, I won't hold. I mean, if that's what he decides is best for him, then I'm hoping as a Bucks fan they get, go to the highest bidder. Don't do this in secret the way, the Mavs did and mess it up, right? Like just whatever you do, don't do that.
Yeah.
I won't hold down the ill will, but I feel very confident in that the Bucks would try to make him be the bad guy. Like, hey, if Giannis comes to them and says, hey, I want out, they're going to go, okay, you got to do it publicly. Like, we're not going to trade you until you do it publicly. And I don't think Giannis wants to do that.
Yep.
Like maybe ultimately he'll decide he will. I don't know, but I feel pretty confident in saying that the Bucks aren't going to do this unless Giannis asks out in a very public way. So if he goes elsewhere, I won't feel any ill will towards him. Like Giannis brought something that I thought was impossible to Milwaukee, and that was a Bucks championship. Mm-hmm. Like I had friends who literally made fun of me in college for watching the Bucks, and there was one time where it was a headline on ESPN.com. I will never forget it to this day. Literally said, Heat obliterate Bucks. ESPN.com used the word obliterate with my favorite basketball team because that's what happened. They got obliterated. I didn't think that team could win a championship. And, I mean, the Deer District doesn't happen without Giannis. They're still building things in the Deer District, that music venue. So, Giannis has done so much good for the Bucks, for the city of Milwaukee. I will never have any ill will, and I will celebrate him when they unveil the statue when he comes back.
And I agree this is going to be a game of chicken, that Giannis doesn't want to say he wants out, and the Bucks do not want to give him that out. And I am curious who blinks. But you brought up Oklahoma City, the Thunder, earlier, and it's a big ask to ask Horst to be Presti, but they only had 2 terrible years. They had 2 years with like 20-some wins or less. Otherwise, they were a team that was winning 40-some games. They bottomed out. They got the 40, then they got now obviously like 2 years later than the Western Conference. But Oklahoma City, to me, is similar. They're not quite in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they'll get there. But they're similar to Milwaukee in the idea that you can't bottom out. And so going back to when the Bucks make this trade, I do think they are going to try to find a team that gets them players and draft picks. Like the Suns pick from Houston could be interesting because that could be – but you need Horst to be playing three-dimensional chess here or playing – because – you need to acquire, like the guys they get now might not be the guys they win with because you might have to flip the roster over 3 or 4 times in the next 6 years to maintain. Like it's a really thin needle to thread to be relevant and be good, accumulate draft picks, but also fill Pfizer Forum.
Well, and this is like the other side, right, of everyone always saying, and I feel like we have this conversation around the Packers more than anyone else because, I mean, that's, again, the Packers are the main ticket here in the state of Wisconsin. But for everybody who always says, oh, go all in, you got to go all in. Oh, how come the Packers aren't going up? This is the other side of that. Yep. The Bucs have been going all in basically every year since 2019. Like they have been trying to make moves and they've been giving away assets every year since 2019. Now they got their championship. Yep. Like I'm really happy with that championship. And I hope they can figure out a way to still be relevant and win another one. I think that'd be spectacular for Giannis in Milwaukee. But this is the flip side of it. When you go all in and now those assets you have acquired have aged, now some of them have injuries. it's tough. It's a tough situation to find yourself in, that you're going to have to dig yourself out of and try to convince your generational superstar to stick around because you have some sort of plan that's going to get you out. And you bring up OKC, like they also got lucky with because I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hit and Chet Holmgren seeming to be hit. Some of the other ancillary pieces are hitting, because I think of like when Golden State bottomed out because they were injured and they got the number 2 overall pick, it flamed out. That did nothing for them. Like that did absolutely nothing for them. So you got to get a little lucky with some of those picks too. Once you trade away, and obviously Golden State didn't trade anybody away. And Steph Curry and Draymond are still there. Clay left in free agency, but they didn't, trade anybody away to kind of get to that draft pick status. But you got to get lucky sometimes with those picks, and like again, if the Bucks were to win a championship, you probably thought at one time it was going to be Giannis and Jabari Parker, and then unfortunately for Jabari, he tore his ACL twice. And he wasn't a part of those championship teams. So there's definitely some luck that gets involved there when you start trying to turn these teams around. And maybe the draft class isn't very good when you have a high draft pick and you just kind of lose out. Because not every draft is the 2003 draft with Dwayne Wade and Melo and Bosh and LeBron.
I'm glad that you brought up the juxtaposition with the Green Bay Packers, though, because that has been my stance. Is like, I think I'm at the point now with the Packers that I would rather have them go all in, attempt to win a Super Bowl, maybe get there, maybe lose, whatever it is, at least you got there, and then maybe not be good for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, I think as a Packer fan, I am comfortable with that happening because at least you got another chip. Like, I'm curious, do you feel that way? Like, would you rather have your team be like how the Bucks are, consistently doing that? Or would you rather have your team be like the Green Bay Packers, where they're just consistently good and they're in contention? They're getting to the playoffs and then they're not good enough to win a Super Bowl.
I wish they would have toward the end of the Rodgers-Devonta era. I don't think they're quite there yet, where they should be thinking about going all in. But I'm 100% glad the Bucks did, because they got the championship. Now, again, there are tough stories. I mean, just look out to Philadelphia, whatever the hell's going on out there with the 76ers. Like, that's what happens when you don't win a championship, and, just things are completely falling apart over there. So at least the Bucks did get the championship. But I have to deal with Chewy every day, like, oh, how come they haven't won more championships with Giannis? Like, man, like, this is what I hate about ring culture, is like, I can't even celebrate the one Bucks championship with every Bucks fan out there, because there are people out there that are dissatisfied. How come they didn't win more? Man, they've won. It took them 50 years to win that one. And now we're asking for another one the next year and the year after? Can't I enjoy 2021?
No, that's a great point. And honestly, both ways got a ring. Aaron has a ring. Giannis got a ring. And I don't know if there's really a wrong way to build it. And the Bucks, this case around, is they also caught horrible injury luck. I don't know if they would have got another ring. I think Bucks fans would have been happier if they had a deeper run, because unfortunately the title run is the aberration over the last 6 years for the Bucks in the playoffs. And I blame that on injuries, but that's the only year they've really made a deep run.
And I mean, what, Giannis and Dame played 2 playoff games together, 2 playoff games in 6 minutes? Like, that's brutal. That's horrible. Ugh.
Yeah, and they're chasing coaches. It's a lot, Gabe. We'll have you on again to talk about the Bucks, because it's going to be a wild offseason. Some fans want Doc gone, and there's going to be a lot of roster changes, and I am very curious to what this team will look like. I'm hoping that Giannis, I feel like he's going to give them, like, hey, build the offseason and we'll run it, and then maybe at the trade deadline he might just have to pull the trigger and be like, all right, we stink. We're the 6th seed only because I'm averaging 35 and 15. I want out, and that might be the end of it. But I do think he'll probably give it the old
that'll be sick to watch.
Yeah, it will be sick to watch.
If he averages 35 and 15, like I don't care if they're bad. I'm gonna have a blast watching him average 35 and 15.
Yeah, and they'll be an entertaining 6th seed. Like, it'll be really fun. Like, if you have Porter and Trent, like, they're gonna be bombing up threes, and Giannis will be all over the court, and you got
because those guys are wild cards too. There's going to be nights where they're awful, nights where they're great. Like, it's going to be flip a coin. It's going to be frustrating, but it's going to be fun. I would enjoy it.
And then everyone will get the stink out of Kuzma, but
Well, that's. I mean, unfortunately, there's. I don't want to talk about Kyle Kuzma.
You can't defend him.
Chris Middleton died for Kyle Kuzma, and it makes me very sad.
Yes, Gabe, thanks so much for hopping on.
I'm sorry for blowing up the clock.
No, we're good. That's Ryan will live.
Oh, we'll be fine. We got it.
All right.
It was very well worth it to compare your shaved face to Ben Brush shaved head.
Oh, we got both photos up there.
Yeah, check out the ESPN Madison YouTube stream now.
Yes, back when we had
Ben looks like you should be
Look
on
at those
prison
old
break.
headphones we had.
Yeah, those are massive. We did have awesome gear, though. But those
We
headphones,
did.
we could have landed planes with those headphones. Yes, and I don't know. We may or may not have actually been on the air. We did a lot of fake remotes.
What?
Well, we'd be out at remote, and then we would just be kicked off the air. And we're like, we're just going to keep on going, and then hopefully someone figures out. By someone, it's either Gabe or I have to figure it out while the other person talks.
The Wild Wild West of ESPN Madison.
Someday Jim will explain to you, Molly, about going to bars and asking if they had dedicated fax lines so we could do.
That is incredible.
What? A POTS? You have a POTS line? What? Yeah. So those were the and then the remote equipment that was like the size of a Honda that we'd have to bring into every single restaurant we'd go to. So.
What a time to be alive.
We had to go uphill both ways.
There you go.
Every remote we went to. Over and killed a grizzly bear with our notebook spiral. But Gabe, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Like, winning teams could talk trash.
Yeah, but we're
Giannis talks trash.
Maybe we're not good enough to be talking trash.
Or maybe it's not your personality.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm not tight either.
I'm not tight at all. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Ben Johnson?
I'm so loose right now.
We don't know. I don't know who he is. I have no idea what he is.
I'm not tight.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Who could forget Wisconsin's run to the 2015 national title game? Tom Izzo and his Spartans also in the Final Four that season. The legendary coach on the memorable UW squad.
That was a hell of a team. They had good players, good guys. The night before, we have a dinner with everybody, and it was kind of fun. The Big Ten was represented by 2 teams, but that year, I thought they were good enough to win it all.
Relive it all June 26th at the Made 'em Believe event. Tickets available now at uwhoops2015.com.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. VFW State Adjutant Adam Wallace.
Local is always important because we want to engage with our community and support local businesses. You know, we are local to Madison and they are too.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. The benefit?
The benefit is having reliable equipment, having a reliable way to print documents.
James Imaging Systems, local service you just can't get anywhere else.
The customer service is great, and if an issue, when it rarely arises, they're very quick to fix it.
That's another benefit for the VFW.
It's just one less thing that we need to worry about as an organization.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at princetonclub.net.
carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26th game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
At Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm. They don't chase commissions, never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, confidence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords. They're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com. Get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us in the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream the show on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And we are presented by Coors Light. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question. I'm going to get out there, and then I want to get to break so we can hear from Jason Wilde because we have a tight window with him. So you can chime in on the Carbos Talking text line 844-770-3776. Less is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question is, which Packers rookie is most likely to become a fan favorite from this draft class? Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas. Barron Sorrell, the linebacker from Texas. Other at 10%, Golden at 60%, Sorrell at 30%, and Warren Brinson, the defensive tackle from Georgia. I think that one is going to have to be how intense of a Packer fan are you? Because if you followed along with rookie minicamp or read some of the stuff from Jason Wilde, Brinson, I think, would be higher on this list. We'll talk to Jason Wilde about that next.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It just feels like the Derby should be on a Sunday.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's a Kentucky Derby. It's a Kentucky Derby hot brown, right? That's what you'd get after going to church, right?
Kentucky hot brown. It was similar to this sandwich that's
broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio. This is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I am Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers getting their second win in a row after dropping 2 in a row against their rival, the Chicago Cubs. Yes, last night the Brewers getting a 5-1 win to get back to 500 on the season as they beat the Astros at AmFam Field. Brewers now stand at 18-18 on the season. Also some bounce-back outings for pitcher Tobias Myers and hitters Christian Yelich and Vinny Capra. After getting an early hook in his start last week, Myers carried a shutout into the 6th inning, ended up allowing just 6 hits and 1 run last night. Meanwhile, Christian Yelich put the Brewers up with a 413-foot homer to deep right in the 3rd inning. That occurred just one day after he broke out of his 0-for-19 slump. Then Vinny Capra, the spring training sensation, snapped an 0-for-36 slump by hitting a single in the 8th. That was Capra's first hit since April 2nd. Milwaukee looks to get back above 500 tonight with first pitch at AmFam Field, scheduled for 6:40 p.m. That means pregame coverage starts at 6:04 right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's time, baby. Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here.
He texted me literally right after I got drafted. Told me it's time to go to work, congratulated me.
That's my guy right there.
What did you have to say to him?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I'm gonna let my presence be known. I'm coming here and compete.
Why is it tight in here?
It's not tight. I'm not tight. I thought it was interesting.
Hey, let me get a green bag 3. 1, 2, 3.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power. Primetime Lorshine with me in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Molly Brown. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Highly recommend it. And if you missed any of the show so far, you can find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We talked with Gabe Neitzel about his MACC Fund donations, about his time here at ESPN Madison and the Milwaukee Bucks. We also got. Are we going to just remove the first segment of today's show, or how's that?
It happens.
All right.
I mean,
We all
sometimes
get got.
you get duped on Twitter. I mean, nowadays, with all the amount of content out there, the Met Gala, I mean, come on.
Honestly, it's on.
It's on Ryan?
It's on two of you. I'm old.
Me?
I can get got.
You're the one that sent it in the chat.
Jim is the one who wanted to talk about it.
I do want to talk about it, but one of you two should have been like, no, this isn't real, Jim. You're old. Like, you got. Like, you're an old man.
Okay, in my defense, I really have not been on social media, like, at all today. I briefly looked at your photo, and I was like, oh, he's at the Met. And then it just kind of made... I mean, I've been, like, looking up random other people that went to the Met, but it's not like you can find a roster of people that went to the Met Gala.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, I think it's Ryan's fault.
I think it's Ryan's fault because he's our producer, and he should have done his due diligence.
Yeah. That's how we're going to land on that one. I think we're going to have, hopefully, Jason Wilde joining us soon. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner. They're your one-stop shop for all things security, from cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door. They've got you covered with a network of top-tier suppliers. They've created customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, and we are going to be joined now by Jason Wilde. And Jason, thanks. Thanks for taking the time. I know we're kind of squeezing your schedule here, but we'll blame Gabe on it.
Thrilled.
By
I'm
Gabe.
I'm thrilled to be joining.
We are thrilled to be talking with you because there's some Packers things out there, and you've had an I want to get to our side and limited poll question because you've had an opportunity to be around some of these players, and you probably can give the best answer to this one. So we're asking you which Packers rookie is the most likely to become a fan favorite from this draft class. Matthew Golden, Barron Sorrell, Warren Brinson are the names that we put out there. All three of them, obviously, you've written some great stuff, channel3000.com, and all three of them seem to have a pretty fun personality that could be endearing to Packer fans.
Yeah, all three are good choices. The one who will be the most popular is the one that plays the best, though, right?
That's true, yep.
And obviously, Matthew Golden is going to have some opportunities here. I think Brinson is going to have some opportunities. I have a buddy named Will Brinson who works for CBS. And so I keep trying not to call Warren Brinson Will Brinson, just like I try not to call Edgerrin Cooper Edgerrin James. So it's a struggle. I'm on the struggle bus. But for sure, those three guys were the ones that showed the greatest amount of personality during our time with them. Now, again, we got like 10 minutes apiece with them. And on top of that, we saw them basically do lame individual drills and not much else at the rookie minicamp, air quotes, practice. So, I understand why Matt LaFleur did it. I appreciate that he allowed me to use my mediocre photography skills more than normal because it was all drill work. But the bottom line is that we didn't get to see a lot of the things we normally see from the rookies, which, my hope would be, and I think most of my colleagues follow this, that you don't make any major observations or make any major decisions on whether a guy is this, that, or the next thing. Mm-hmm. But you do want to see kind of some glimpses, and we didn't even see, Savion Williams and Matthew Golden catch a pass. from anyone other than a coach. So, that kind of stuff was a little bit lame. So I wish I had more intel to share.
Jason, did I hear you say that Baron Sorrell's dad is a Wilde and Tausch fan this morning?
I did not say that. That would be, I do not want to, first of all, I would never accuse anyone of that. Secondly, he has been, thank you for the courtesy laugh. You're always good about that, Molly. I appreciate
that felt very courtesy. And I know I'm gonna get clipped and it's gonna play and it's just gonna be a whole, okay. Hate that I did that.
What's up with that?
That's Matt Hamilton's media laugh we just heard a second ago.
Yep.
But he has been lurking in our YouTube comments. And so when we talked to Baron Sorrell the other day, I didn't want to. One of my things that I try to avoid is being that guy who wastes everyone else's time with a question. Like, you can complain about my long-windedness, like you're experiencing now. You can complain about the way I ask my questions. I think it's effective, but others don't. But the biggest thing for me is that I don't want you to be stuck listening to me jabber on for something that might not be useful to you. I think most of my answers that I get are useful to people. And so there was a lull, and they were going to end the conversation with Sorrell, and I was like, okay, well, if nobody's going to say anything, I said, hey, I got to ask, there's a Barry Sorrell who's been in our YouTube comments during our radio show. Is that like an imposter, or is that your dad? And he's like, no, that's my dad. That's what he's been doing. And then he says, he looks around at the cameras and says, which camera should I look into? And he looks dead in the camera for Packers.com and says, Dad, stop. Seriously, stop. And then he was in there again today. So clearly, Barry is a fan of the show, or at least is considering becoming a fan of the show.
That's fantastic. I mean, I feel like I would probably be too obsessed with what people are saying. And for me, I don't care what people say about me online, but if my kids were involved, I probably would be pretty involved and doing my best to bite my tongue. So, I recognize it.
Now's the time to be doing it, though, right? Yep. Because now nothing but puppy dogs and ice cream and seashells and balloons right now. It's, when he misses a crucial tackle on 3rd and 2 and Aaron Jones goes for a 60-yard run, maybe Barry's not going to enjoy our commentary quite as much.
Well, and Rome Odunze's father kind of annoyed the Bears and definitely Bears Nation by pointing out, look at Rome's available. When he struggled to get out the gates, he was pointing out screenshots of Rome being open in that moment. And there can be distractions from parents. Hopefully that is not the case with Sorrell's father as the season goes along.
Well, it's funny that you bring up distractions from parents, because I go right to Christian Watson, right? His dad has been very vocal in the past on certain things. And I did see your article on channel3000.com just kind of talking about Christian Watson being back around the team. How has he been handling his recovery with his ACL injury? What has his presence been like in Green Bay?
Yeah, he's been I did not, full disclosure, I was not there. I didn't know that he was going to be available, but multiple TV stations were there. And I thought, look, I really like him. And I am fascinated by the dichotomy between him and his dad's behavior. It's very interesting to me because his dad is a lot, and there's no sign that Christian is that way. I mean, the best part of that story is not just his update that he gave about his injury. It was the fact that he's there, because a couple of De Pere High School students came across him and asked him if he would come to this charity walk to fight cancer. I mean, who does that, right? He just came and he walked because he's able to walk now. He said, I don't know where he's at. I only saw part of the interview, so I don't know if he said if he's able to run straight line or whatever else. But he was able to walk in a charity walk, which is a great thing. Now, that's different than obviously running a deep route like I wrote on Channel 3000. But the bottom line is that that's the kind of guy he is. Matt LaFleur loves him even more than me. And that's why I still think that while I will be stunned if he's back before, mid-November, that the Packers are secretly down deep hoping that he comes back, he helps them out, he makes some plays, but not too many plays, and then they have a chance to maybe sign him to a, less than what it would cost if he had a big season in 2025 type contract. Because the idea of him with his speed, assuming it all comes back after the surgery, and Matthew Golden with his speed, I don't know how Matt LaFleur's not excited about something like that.
So we got to let you go. You got to talk to Homer, but I want to clear. So when you said loves him more than me, Matt LaFleur loves Christian Watson more than you love Christian Watson, or Matt LaFleur loves Christian Watson more than he loves you? That was my question.
Both. Those are both true. Yeah,
okay.
Both are true.
Okay. All right. I just wanted, you said it, and I needed to clarify it. So thank you, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
All right, we have to budget the proper amount of time for Jason Wilde because this is twice we've been abbreviated with him. But we will talk to him later this week. Yeah? No, we usually talk to him twice a week, right?
We should talk to him on Friday.
Okay, awesome. So we'll talk to him again later this week. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
With Mother's Day just around the corner, show that special woman in your life just how much she means to you. Head over to Gail Ambrosia's Chocolatier store on Atwood and treat her to delightfully delicious chocolates crafted to perfection right here in Madison. Once you taste that difference that locally owned and made chocolates provides, you'll never go back to buying a mass-produced box of chocolate ever again. Make this Mother's Day one to remember with a box of chocolates from Gail Ambrosia's Chocolatier on Atwood.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honey's to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honey's experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I haven't heard the Bleachers in a while. The Bleachers are led by Jack Antonoff, and he was in the band Fun, which is a song Some Nights you might know, like Some Nights.
Oh, yeah.
So he was in that band. He was in the background of that one, not the lead singer of it. But then he is, and it's not just, I want to say Lana Del Rey as well, but he is basically the muse or the co-collaborator with Taylor Swift on most of her albums recently.
Really?
Like, yeah, the last few. Midnights for sure, and Torture's Poet Side, but I think it actually goes even longer
What's
than that.
his name?
Jack Antonoff.
Okay.
And he's a kind of the dorky looking guy. He's got like thick black glasses that you'd see, like he's around Taylor a lot, like at different events. He's at the same table with her and everything. But
yes, I have seen him at like award shows near her. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. But he's actually incredibly talented. I like the Bleachers because they kind of give off a Bruce Springsteen and 80s vibe to it. And it's just kind of fun, little upbeat music. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush. A Coors Light. Fine, sleeping back there.
Sleeping for sure.
Not quite a week ago, but last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, I was up in Green Bay, and I got a chance to talk with Melvin Gordon, James White. Well, it was 2 Fridays ago, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Time is flying by.
Yes,
so I got a chance to talk.
Was the draft 2 weeks ago?
Honestly,
wait.
Earlier today, I referred to the draft as a week ago, but it was more than a week
I guess it's about 10 days now.
Yeah.
It's double-digit days, yeah. God, that is crazy.
It does not seem like that long ago. But obviously, rookie minicamp was last weekend.
Yep.
And so anyways, 2 Fridays ago, I was up in Green Bay. I got a chance to talk with Gary Ellerson, former Badger and former Packer, James White, former Badger, former Patriot, and Melvin Gordon, former Badger, former Charger, Chief, Raven, and Bronco. I would list them in the order of teams I think he's a fan of, organizations he's a fan of. So he had some interesting things to say throughout, but one of them was, and it just got me thinking, and we're going to ask a signing limit poll question in a minute on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. So let's hear from Melvin Gordon, then I'll ask our signing limit poll question.
This is a crazy story. The Packers actually sat me down, and they were like, "Hey, we're probably not going to draft you. You're probably gonna go a little earlier. You walk off to us." But we had our little heart to heart, and I felt like that was dope for me, being a Wisconsin kid. I mean, he just talked about how good of a player I was, and if I was dropped to them, there would be a chance. But actually, Chargers picked me, and that's that. I can see why. The people have the love and passion for this place. I mean, just the tradition and just everything, how beautiful it looks. I mean, it's just a place you can't get enough of.
And the place he's talking about is Lambeau Field, because that was done at our trio houses right outside Lambeau Field. So with that, I'm going to throw a little curveball at Ryan. We were going to ask, what former Badger would you want the Packers to take? I want to say, what former Badger running back would you have liked to see play for the Green Bay Packers?
Like in their prime or right now?
Prime.
Well, I mean, Melvin Gordon could still play.
Ron Dane today.
You guys.
Come on.
I mean, he'd probably still be better than any of us here.
Well, yes, but not better than anyone on the Packers roster.
Well, you guys,
hopefully.
okay, I'm just making sure that you set the scene. Make sure you tell us when. Because Melvin Gordon could still play. He was just on a roster, I think, 2 years ago. He won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's true.
That's
true.
Come on, guys. It's not a crazy question.
It's a little crazy.
Okay, what we'll say in their prime. I don't know if we need to. Should we put it in the poll question now? I feel like we have to.
No. Who thinks? We're not saying now.
What are the options? James White, Ron Dane,
Well,
Melvin,
I'm going
Monte.
with Zombie Crazy Legs Hirsch or something like that. Or
Frank Hirsch.
Wait, who's the other guy that won the Heisman for the
Crazy Legs.
Elroy Hirsch, right?
Wait, is that
Elroy
why
Hirsch,
the
yes.
Crazy Legs race is called Crazy Legs?
You're learning a lot today, aren't you?
I actually did not know that. I swear to God, I am not being stupid. I just did not know that. I'm a
So-
bottomless pit. Okay, thank you.
Alan Amici is the guy. It's not Crazy Legs
Yes.
Hirsch is not the guy that won the Heisman. Alan Amici won the Heisman. So I would go reanimated Alan
I think
Amici for playing this game.
I think Crazy
just because
Legs-
he'd be a zombie then.
Crazy Legs Hirsch was the one who played like 5 positions, or like, he was a punter, running back. He was like a safety. He was basically like Paul Hornig.
I mean, again, with all due respect, these people might as well be superheroes at this point because,
Yeah,
like,
pretty
one, the time frame that they played in and then the amount of sports and positions they played, like, I don't, like, they dominated their era, but, like, it's not even the same, it's not the same sport anymore.
There's an article called Remembering Crazy Legs, and it says his legs were gyrating.
Yeah.
Spicy. So what are the options for these Badgers running
All right,
backs?
so our signing limited poll question, which Badger running back would you want to play for them while they were, I don't know how, forget the rest of it.
Which Badgers running back do you wish had played for the Packers?
There you go.
I think
There you
that,
go.
That
I
simplifies
think that's
it.
kind of how I asked it.
I'm
but-
pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Melvin Gordon, Monte Ball. You got to put those both on there.
You got to put James White because he won a Super Bowl, right?
Well, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
And then you go James White. We just go modern. We just go modern.
Okay, modern Badgers running back.
I think that's just the safe way to
That is
not
a
have,
much safer, because otherwise people are gonna get mad at us because we're not gonna put John Clay on here. We're not gonna
honestly,
put
when you write it out, which
Calhoun.
type modern in all caps. If you
Okay,
can.
I will make it safe. Yeah,
Just so
modern.
people don't get
You would
super
have-
in their feels.
You would have to pick Jonathan Taylor, though, right? Because he's probably been the most successful out of all of them
Of those
in the
four,
NFL.
Of those 4, he's proven all around.
Well, you
he's
could
been the
take
best.
different, like if you wanted to get into it, and I don't know who was the running back when Melvin was here. Like, could the Badgers have benefited more? So time frame purposes too.
Wait, when you say who was the running back when
When Melvin
Like,
was
when did-
in the NFL with the Chargers, who was the Packers running
Oh.
back, like you could, if you wanted to, how you answer it of like maybe you want time and place.
Well, I believe when Melvin was running for the Chargers, Eddie Lacy, that would have been his first 2
2015,
seasons.
2015 NFL draft is when Melvin was picked.
And I want to say Eddie Lacy was a Rookie of the Year in 2016, I believe. So that would have been right around the end of probably the James Starks era going into Eddie Lacy, right?
Eddie Lacy was drafted in 2013.
Okay, so
no.
he was a Rookie of the Year in 2013. Then he had another great year in 14. And then the 15 draft would have been when Melvin was drafted. So it would have been Eddie Lacy coming off his 2 best seasons as a pro. So the Packers were not in the market for a running back.
Okay, but then after that, so
Starks?
Melvin in 2016 was 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, plus 400 yards.
He was very good.
Plus
with the
400
Chargers.
yards receiving. Then he had almost 500 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns in addition to his 1,105 yards and 8 TDs in 17. And then in 18, Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowler twice. In 18, 885 yards rushing and 490 yards through the air and 14 total touchdowns. So those years with the Chargers right there, again, I don't know he could have been a Thunder to Eddie Lacy's Lightning, and then because he's a guy that catches the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Remember at this time, the Packers needed anyone who had a pulse at DB. They were running out Ladarius Gunter in NFC Championship games. They were waiting for Casey Hayward to cut him so he could become an all-pro with the Chargers, with Melvin Gordon, actually. They just weren't in the market for a first-round running back at the time.
No, I agree, but I'm just trying to play
I know.
if you were able to just plop him on the roster.
It
and
could have been.
I don't
It
know
could
the
have been
answer to
dangerous.
this, but it'd be him or Taylor.
Yeah.
James White obviously had a nice run, but honestly, it's kind of asking like a little. We have to put Taylor in it. You can't
Right.
leave him off of it.
Yes, for sure.
Unless you want to do like a sad version of this thing, like Braylon Allen, Isaac Guerrero.
Definitely not
Current
Guerrero.
players. Hey, he had a good season last year. I mean, towards the end of the season when he was forced to play.
Yeah,
He did good.
Problem with him has always just been when he's healthy. When he's
Yeah.
healthy, he is electric, but he just seems like he can't stay healthy for more than.
I mean, that's how
a month.
Braylon was in college.
In
other
college,
than his
true.
first year. I mean, he stayed healthy, knock on wood, for his sake, in the NFL so far. But
Before we get to break, actually, I want to give you. So we're gonna have Monte Ball. It's gonna air on Thursday, but Monte Ball is joining the show, and we talked to him about some different things.
On the
running
Jump
backs
Around, correct?
Yeah, sorry. So Monte Ball is going to join the Jump Around podcast on Thursday. It is a digital show that'll air at 12:30, and you can listen to the show back on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And we were talking before Monte Ball joined, but we talked about this because Monte was on, as far as the Luke Fickell had an article with Pete Thames on in ESPN, on ESPN.com. And in that article, he talked about Pete Thamel, and he was talking about how basically the Badgers need to get back to what they used to be. And Luke Fickell's first year here with Phil Longo, he talked about how basically it didn't work. But his first year here with Phil Longo was the best year as far as running the football. So Braylon Allen had just under 1,000 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns. And I think a Badger running back will do better than 1,000 yards rushing. And the Badgers' rushing attack had just over 2,000 yards rushing with around 4.5 yards per carry and 22 touchdowns. And I think the Badgers' running backs as a whole this year will cap. So I think in year one, Jeff Grimes will cap Phil Longo's best year, top Phil Longo's best year with the Badgers as far as running the football. Because Jeff Grimes at Kansas had David Neal, who was a drafted running back this year.
Devin Neal,
and he had about 1,200 yards and like 14 touchdowns and 5.5 yards per carry. They ran for nearly 2,500 yards as a team. They ran for over 5.5 yards per carry as a team, and I think they had 29 touchdowns as a team. I don't think the Badgers get all that, but I think if the Badgers get 25 touchdowns at 5 yards a carry at over 2,000 yards, the Badgers are going to be a team fans are going to like. So we're going to talk about that more on the show on Thursday. But
so what you're saying is we're not going to be hearing air raid very often,
or dairy raid, or whatever it was. We will not.
So is this just going to go back to, and we can probably get into it more, but like, is this just going to go back to good old quote unquote Wisconsin football?
It'll be a hybrid. If you look at Kansas stats last year, even their quarterback who was up and down, was it Jalen Daniel?
Jalen Daniel, correct?
Yeah, and so he still threw for more yards and had a better touchdown to interception ratio and had a higher completion percentage than Braden Locke. And Daniel was not good last year. He's been better, but
I mean, Braden Locke was
right. So but a down year for the
Garbage.
Kansas quarterback was still a better year passing, and then Kansas could run the football last year.
And he could run the football.
Right, he could run the football. So his all-purpose yards were over 3,000 yards, and all-purpose touchdowns were over 20. So when you account for his ability to run, now Billy Edwards Jr. won't be able to run like that, but I do think
he runs pretty well.
Right, Daniel's a special runner, so he'll be able to run, but not quite to that level. So I don't think 3,000 total yards is out of the question for Edwards when you account for his ability to run and throw, and maybe 20 total touchdowns. I don't think that's insane. My point is that Kansas, which I think had a little bit of a down year, transition year offensively because they just brought in a new OC, and he kind of just had to run the prior OC's playbook, they still outperformed what the Badgers did in a similarly difficult conference. So I'm excited that the Badgers are at least going to look competent on offense. Molly, tell us about Carbon World Health.
Yes, I'm so excited to get my journey started over there. You guys have heard me talk about their brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center. They have all sorts of things. They have hydrofacials, they have IV therapy, they have M-Sculpt, and just literally anything you can think of for a med spa. It's great. Stop in today to get started on your health and beauty journey. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Medicine on YouTube.
Your Pell experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin recently upgraded their document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Adam Wallace, VFW State Adjutant.
Our representative ensured that we had what was right for us, for our needs, and for our budget, and I thought it was a very good interaction.
That's a good thing to have James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner?
Absolutely. We want people that are going to support what we want to do in supporting veterans, and if that means spending less on our imaging and technology costs, that's more that we can spend on our programs.
And that's a really good thing. Adam, any advice to other businesses out there?
I would say to go with James Imaging.
Because?
Because they are a partner and they give great customer service and the prices are right.
Great document imaging technology, great service, great value. From James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. They are Madison's custom jeweler. They are Madison's family-owned jeweler. So whether you want to, I got my ball watch on today, whether you want a nice watch for yourself, whether you want, you need an engagement ring, you need a wedding band, you need custom jewelry, you need jewelry fixed, go check out our friends at Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. We're going to throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
And so I have a tweet here from Andrew Marchand, who writes for The Athletic. And there's times where nostalgia is good, and nostalgia can be kind of fun, and there's times where nostalgia goes wrong. We all can agree that Round Ball Rock coming back to the airwaves on NBC, the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Side note, I would sign up immediately to do a social media watch along with the John Tesh video of his creation of the Round Ball Rock. Have either one of you seen this?
No.
On YouTube? I highly recommend it. But the this is
so good.
So I'm going to show you, Molly, during the break, the video, but I could watch it 1,000 times because he's wearing 90s clothes. It's John Tesh. Who the hell goes to a John Tesh concert? And he has, like, how he comes up with the idea for Round Ball Rock. It's elite, though. Can't laugh at the process when the product is elite. Right, this is
so good, yeah.
This is basketball to me. This is Jordan coming back to play? And so on that point, I love Michael Jordan. I do not want to see an AI Michael Jordan. I do not want to see a reanimated Michael Jordan. I do not want to see a robot Michael Jordan compete in the NBA. And it's not apples to apples, but NBC, according to Andrew Marchand, I don't know who Jim Fagan is, but Jim Fagan was the voice of the NBA on NBC's promos during the 90s. He passed away in 2019. Using AI, he will be heard once again as the NBA on NBC returns next season. And I kind of hate that. So it is, one, taking away a job opportunity from someone else, but then two, like, what are we doing? If you want to do it for like a one-off sort of thing, of a like, hey, for the first week to pay homage to him and get everyone fully in the feels, okay, I'm in. But if you're going to do it regularly, I'm out. It's creepy.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and it's actually kind of scary. I mean, I feel like all of us, literally all of us three that are in here, because our voices are being recorded in public atmospheres, our voices can literally be taken and made into whatever the heck somebody wants us to do. I'm a bottomless pit. I was going to say Metro Kia of Madison. Oi! Like, that was AI, right?
Yes.
All they did was take your voice
Madison, oi.
and made you speak Spanish.
Jim speaking Spanish. I don't know if you guys listened to Kyle Gross and Norman earlier today. Not that you would ever listen to that show, but they do have a segment. They do have a segment on there where they actually have a guest reader come and quiz Ben Brust on trivia questions. Guess who quizzed Ben Brust today? AI Ben Brust quizzed Ben Brust. Actually,
okay.
What?
Their producer, Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strofe, was able to go out.
No idea. Irrelevant.
And somehow take Ben's voice, probably from like a commercial recording, and put it into an AI system where then the AI system will replicate your voice. So it actually able to get Ben's voice replicating reading lines to ask trivia questions to a caller and then to Ben himself.
That's crazy.
And honestly, like 90% accuracy, 90% you could have convinced me it was just Ben reading questions.
That's terrifying.
If you hear the whole Metro Kia of Madison commercial that is in Spanish that I did not voice myself, it sounds...
Are you lying or was it AI?
It sounds like me. I couldn't read that if I tried. Like, you know, like so you could read something, know what it means, but
right.
like it would be horrendous, and that is shame on me. But my kids already know more Spanish than I do, so that's shame on me. I wish.
It was an all-time moment when I was sitting at home one day watching the ESPN app. I don't know what I was watching, but just seeing a Metro Kia commercial coming up and hearing that it was in Spanish, and then saying, wait, Jim usually does the audio recording of all these commercials. Like, he voices the actual commercial typically, right?
Yeah.
I start listening closer, and I'm like, that's Jim Rutledge.
And I don't do their commercials
Madison,
anymore.
oi.
But that sounds like me. And
it's crazy.
Yeah, I would have. If I were you, I would have thought I took too many gummies or something.
I was
like, am I having a stroke?
I lost it. I think the next morning I texted Jim, can you send me Metro Kia's Spanish commercial, please? I need it for the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Metro Kia of Madison. Oi.
But how do we feel about the reanimation or the bringing back of, and look, the family's getting compensated. All things are above the board legally and financially. But one, how are we ever going to move forward as a society if we're always going back?
Yeah.
I'm in on this, and I read the article in The Athletic. It does not seem like it is a one-off. It'll be part of their promo, so there might be other people, but this is not a, hey, first week, first month, whatever. This is going to be part of their thing going forward. Here's what it says. In an agreement between the network and Fagan's family, NBC will use Fagan's AI-generated voice to create modern promos with an old-time feel. NBC said it would also hire current vocalists to complement their presentations, but that still does not allow that vocalist to become the new voice. And I don't like it. I like it as a homage, but I do hope they phase it out quickly. And I'm glad the Fagan family is getting paid, but we have to move forward. I feel like I did have to say that I do not want to see a animatronic Michael Jordan out there playing basketball against someone, which I don't feel like we're that far away from. This is the second time NBC has created AI partnerships during the Olympics. Al Michaels, currently Prime Video's Thursday Night Football play-by-play broadcaster, was compensated for the use of his AI-generated voice for Your Daily Olympic Recap on Peacock during the Paris Games this past summer.
I remember that.
Why? can you just not voice that?
I think it was because the recaps came every day, and I think he was probably, during that time.
Oh, so it was, I thought it was just the open.
No, so it wasn't. It was like an actual 5-minute recap of any event that happened the day before. Basically,
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
No, essentially what we have with Bucks Plus, Bucks and 6, a 6-minute recap of every game. It was him doing that, but for every day of the Olympics.
But also, like you said, there's somebody out there that wants to be in sports media that could do that job. We already get it. I love Al Michaels. I think he's great. He's a great announcer. But, we already got him on Prime Football. We don't need him to do a 5-minute recap every single day of what happened in the Olympics before. That can be somebody else's job.
Well, because it is the network's being cheap. Because I don't know what they're paying Al Michaels, but here's the thing. They don't have to pay him insurance. There's no 401k. There's no other onboarding. There's none of that. You're just cutting him a check. So let's say you had to pay someone else that an employee or have someone on who just fills this role of doing promo work and all that kind of stuff. You have to pay them a certain amount as opposed to the AI. It's just cutting a check. It's not employment. So I think by most accounts, I would say it's gross most of the time. If you want to do it as a quick homage, fine. And I'm fine with bringing back Round Ball Rock. That is a song. Songs are brought back. Human voices being brought back to then circumvent hiring people and then circumvent new creativity. It gives me the ick.
What do you think about it in movies too? Because this has been a bit of a controversy in a lot of movies recently as well.
Yeah, and Star Wars has done it some.
Star Wars did it once. They were the first big one to do it, where they essentially used AI to not reanimate, but put an entire person visually in a movie in the Star Wars Rogue One, which came out back in 2018. I want to say. I want to say I was still in college, and they essentially put this person back in the movie, one of the original actors from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And in that, they had him on screen for 10 minutes. He was completely AI generated, and if you watched that without knowing that going into the movie, you would have thought it was just the actor from the previous movie. It's incredible.
I don't mind it in movies because, I remember there was an actor that died during Gladiator, and they had to do some, not AI, but had to do some sort of, it was the older, Marcus Aurelius' kind of mentor. It was an older guy. And he plays I think a retired gladiator.
Yeah,
in the original
so you
one.
mean in Gladiator 2
in Gladiator 1 the actor died while they were shooting, so there was some scenes that they had to kind of special effect kind of help finish.
Yeah.
And it worked. And so that's kind of always been a part of movies. And they Harrison Ford, I think they made younger. Same with Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
But Luke Skywalker, if you're in that time, for my purposes, let's say you're going back to a point in Star Wars where Luke Skywalker is the main character, you I think it's a competitive advantage to be able to stick Luke Skywalker back in it. It doesn't take you out of the movie if it's a completely different actor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think compensation and all those things in movies, but again, that's fantastical. It's movies, it's movie magic. That's the history of movie has been creating these mystery fictional universes. I don't want full AI movies, but I think in scenarios where you are trying to fill in a void or bring back a character, that makes sense.
There's another big controversy with the movie that won Best Picture, The Brutalist. You guys familiar with that one?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's the one with Adrian Brody. It's a 3.5-hour long movie. Unless you're really into movies, I would not say go see it. I haven't even seen it, and I'm really into movies.
Yeah.
But there's a big controversy in that one is because Adrian Brody's character in the movie, I believe, is Armenian, and he has to speak Armenian throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And at one point in the movie, there's some lines where they needed him to go back and redo them or add them in post-production.
Yeah.
And instead of having him just read the lines, they just used his voice AI generated, same way that Metro Kia did with Jim's voice.
Metro Kia of Madison Hoy.
And had him read whatever the lines were in Armenian and then put it in the movie, towards the end of it.
So
and
he had read 90%?
He had this was 99.9% of the dialogue that was him actually doing it, his human vocal cords, but this one bit was AI.
Again, I'm fine with that. Again...
It's a big controversy at the Oscars.
Yeah, but when you're that far in...
Why? Just because it's not original?
Exactly.
It's not real?
At the end of the day, when you're being awarded for your original work and for the creation you made, shouldn't it... And especially for him as the actor, if he's up for Best Actor at the Oscars, if you didn't actually act at least 1% of the movie, the 1% of your portrayal wasn't you, do you deserve the award?
No, I get that, and maybe the award part. I just don't think it's a major faux pas. I'm going to be liberal on the idea of being able to use these things. It's just... In this case, someone who's passed away that can be easily replaced, but we don't need this voice for the storyline of the movie or of the games, we don't need this. Sometimes for movies, you need this. Look, we could just do a whole show on AI and on animated
Maybe our
voices
next show
and
will
things
just
like that.
be AI.
True.
Who knows?
Jacob Johnson chimes in on social media and says, "How are you mentioning Roundabout Rock and not referencing the all-time SNL skit that is it's
You know when I
Jason
googled it, yep.
Sudeikis, and then it's the guy who got way famous after he left SNL.
Yes, he's on. He is on one of the.
Tim is his first name, right?
Yes, he does. I Wish You Weren't Here.
Yeah,
It's a Netflix show.
Like
I'll
he got
look up his
way
name.
more famous after he left SNL, but he
Tim
is
Robinson?
Yes, and he's in the skit, the Roundabout Rock. So
big Lions fan.
Watch both.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there you go. We were trying to figure out our celebrity Lions fan. Tim Robinson, it is. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It's like dogs. Like you get like the snickerdoodle or all these. Like you're trying to build this perfect.
Snickerdoodle?
Is that a real dog?
No,
Oh.
it's like a golden doodle.
Golden
It's a cookie.
doodle. Golden doodle.
Like a
Sorry.
snickerdoodle. Half poodle, half Snickers bar.
I'm sure. Golden doodle. I don't know. This breeding dogs thing is dumb.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new to you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God.
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Okay, well, let's see what we got for you. We've written a song that we like to call Round Ball Rock. Now, it started as one of David's poems here, but then it just grew into something bigger than both of us could ever imagine. It's me on keys and Dave singing.
Can you believe this is our job? All right, fire away.
All right, ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
All right, 2, 3, 4.
Basketball. Gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
Bill and Madison chimed in with this request as well. So Ryan on top of it. It is a great SNL skit. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. No Matt Hamilton. He is in Minnesota. It's Jim and Molly in the Everlight Solar Studio with Primetime Wollersheim. And we are presented by Coors Light. Molly, you heard this and you knew the lyrics to it, so you kind of knew of the skit. I played it for you during a commercial break. I played you the original Round Ball Rock with John Tesh and him. It's a pretty funny, like, basically he's at like a concert, and again, who goes to John Tesh concerts is beyond me. Then he talks about how he called into his answer machine and gave the beat, and then he plays the beat, plays the actual answer machine message at the concert, which seems like an SNL skit in and of itself.
True.
Correct?
Yep.
But then when you heard this, you're like, I don't even know the real lyrics. I was like, there are no lyrics.
I didn't know if there wasn't. I actually thought that those were. Well, I didn't know this was an SNL skit for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I actually think that I learned this song because I believe that this was like Eric Name's open when he joined. What was it when he joined your guys' show before?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I learned it from listening to that so many times. I didn't realize it was an SNL skit, but now it totally connects because you're like the biggest SNL fan. So it makes sense now.
One thing here is we do have Brewers baseball coming up in a couple minutes here. Pregame starts at 6:04 here on ESPN Madison. There's a chance, I haven't checked back in, but the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel said that there's a chance that the roof will be open. It is not the latest in the year that the roof was open, May 19th. The 19th home game season, May 29th was the latest ever. In 2014, the team played its first open roof game May 19th, 19th home game of the season. The Brewers are on their 18th right now. 2008, it stayed closed until May 29th. The thing I have here is, are the Brewers abusing the roof?
How so?
Like, you're going to a ball game. Does it have to be the Cadillac experience? I get rain. But we just close it up because it's a little chilly? Like, aren't we, like, Packer fans? Like, what are we doing?
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Like, it seems a little soft.
I mean, to me, even if they have the roof closed, I feel like that stadium is always just kind of chilly anyways. Like, it's always, like, 60-something degrees. Yeah, like, but to me, if the roof was open on a day like today, and, okay, it's probably going to get a little chilly when the sun goes down, I'm just going to wear a sweatshirt. Like
I
pants.
would say this, that it would going to AmFam Field with the roof closed is like 6.5, 7. Like, it's a good, easy experience, but I'm not like, oh, wow, this is just amazing. I've said this before. But again, as a parent and as someone who has to make the drive over, I think the Brewers built the perfect stadium for them. So I'm not crapping on that. It's just very sterile for me. When you open it up, though, it goes from, I would say, 6.5. It goes up a whole point, 6.5 to 7.5.
But what if it's like 45 degrees out?
Well, that's my question of like.
But if it's 45 degrees out, does it really go up to a 7.5?
I guess that's fair, but I'm saying in general, like, with a roof, you assume it's closed for inclement weather, like rain, to make sure you can play the game all the time.
You want to feel the fresh air.
Just because it's a little chilly.
Oh, come on.
Wear a winter jacket.
Like, you're taking the elements out of the game.
Just allow the fans to enjoy themselves.
You got to bring a jacket anyways because you're walking in and out of the stadium.
The majority of baseball fans watch baseball outside.
We got the Coors Light beer blanket, so I guess it shouldn't matter, if I'm being honest.
It's just one of those, it just kind of caught me off guard.
Think of the kids, Jim.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light.